Bolivia's Chacaltaya Glacier, situated in the Cordillera Real mountain range. In just 11 years, it went from this to this. Scientists like researcher Edson Ramirez are discovering unprecedented ice loss in Andean glaciers. He says some are likely to disappear by 2050.
We now know that from the 1980s to the present, we have lost 43% of the entire surface area of the Cordillera Real.
Ramirez says the statistics are conclusive. The world's largest concentration of tropical glaciers is melting because of climate change. But how have scientists been able to make their predictions? It's due partly to satellite data, transformed into high-resolution 3D images, which clearly show a loss of glacial cover when compared to images taken in the past. The ice loss is blamed on an average temperature spike of 0.7 degrees Celsius over the past 70 years, a trend Ramirez says is bound to continue.
The glaciers, as such, are excellent indicators of climate change. Therefore, these drastic changes that we are observing are clearly showing us that there are already significant changes in our ecosystems, and therefore we need to begin to prepare ourselves and take action to adapt.
And according to Wilson Suarez, a glaciologist in Peru, preparation is all important. He says glaciers 5,100 meters and lower have already vanished, and he predicts those between 5,300 and 5,400 meters high will also melt in the next 30 to 40 years, with potentially devastating consequences. Suarez says entire cities which rely on glacial water in the dry season could simply disappear. Ronald Woodman, president of Peru's Geophysical Institute, agrees.
Muchos de los ríos de la costa dependen, sobre todo en el estiaje.
Many of the coastal rivers, especially in the dry season, depend on the water that comes from the melting of the glaciers, and these will disappear. The flow of the water in the dry season from the rivers is going to be much lower, if not zero, in many of the valleys in Peru.
Cero en muchos de los valles en Perú.
Scientists believe the Andean glaciers have reached a tipping point. They say reversing the thaw is an unrealistic prospect. The question they're now asking is, how can communities successfully adapt as their main source of water melts away?